Hello, everyone. This is Demia Avery in conjunction with ConnectCapeFear.com, and we have a wonderful guest with us today. We have CEO of Warm NC, Mr. Andy Jones. How are you doing today?
Doing very well, thank you.
Awesome. So if you don't mind, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'd love for you to tell everybody what Warm NC is and just talk a little bit about it.
Okay, absolutely. So Warm NC is a nonprofit construction company. We do health and safety related home repairs for low-income families and individuals. We cover 7 counties here in Southeastern North Carolina, from Brunswick County all the way up to Onslow County on the coast, and then Duplin, Bladen, and Columbus coming back around just sort of 1 county inland. And so we address all of the major systems, roofing, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, as well as anything that's health and safety related, and things that are going to either make you sick or hurt you. Those are the things that we want to address. And so that can be anything from plumbing leaks that then cause the issues in the floor to be weakened. So we do a lot of floor work. We do a lot of wheelchair ramps. We do a lot of ADA compliance in the bathrooms, doing a comfort seat or a comfort height toilet, installing grab bars, installing smoke alarms throughout the house. All of those things are some of the things that we're going to address as we come in and work with families.
Awesome. So you said family. So who are the people that you actually service? Is it just veterans, or who do you service?
Yeah. So the primarily the folks that we're serving are elderly, but we also serve single parent households, households of large families, and so 5 or more within the home. One of our grant programs allows us to do special work for families with children under 5 where there may be lead present in the home. So we're able to go in and address those issues as well. You mentioned veterans, and that's certainly a group that we target, and or we have specific grant funding for veterans that allows us to do work for them also if they don't meet some of the other qualifications that we have. But primarily someone who is a homeowner within that 7 county region that we serve, having lived in their home for at least 3 years, and then meeting certain income requirements as well. Those are the folks that we're going to be able to help.
Now, as far as like the different repairs, is it usually because of like hurricane things, or is it just all different types of situations?
Yes, it's both and. And so Warm was founded in 1996 in response to Hurricanes Fran and Bertha. So we were kind of born out of disaster relief and hurricane recovery. But as the volunteers from the area were involved in that disaster recovery, what they discovered was a social disaster that also existed, and that being deferred maintenance and substandard housing. And so we're almost 30 years old now, and we've been living in that realm of addressing deferred maintenance issues. Okay. And so that gets to the substandard housing piece. But then as the different storms have come along, namely Hurricane Matthew, Hurricane Florence, Dorian, Isaias, the potential no-name tropical storm 8, all those things. So we jump into hurricane recovery mode at that point. We're not going to be that first responder. We're typically not the one that's tarping the roof and doing the disaster or debris recovery. We're not doing mold and muck outs and that sort of thing. Okay. That stays mainly with maybe it's UMCOR, the United Methodist Committee on Relief. Maybe it's the North Carolina Baptist. Maybe it's any of the other national groups that come in after those storms. They do immediate relief very well. Okay. Where we shine is in that recovery mode, and so once the relief is done, where do you go from there, and how do you get your home rebuilt? That's where Warm steps in.
Got it. Now, I was looking at you guys' amazing website. It's very informative, you guys. So I noticed that you guys had different programs that people can apply for. So healthy opportunities, as well as a long-term disaster recovery. So if you want to just tell a little bit about those programs?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a couple of different funding streams that allow us to do the work that we're doing. You mentioned the Healthy Opportunities Pilot. That's a Medicaid funded program through the state of North Carolina. It's a pilot program. There's a pilot here in the Cape Fear region. There's a pilot in the Triangle region. And then there's a pilot out west in Asheville also. And so that allows us to for Medicaid recipients, they get effectively a prescription for home repairs.
Okay.
And so then we're able to go in and address those needs. The HOP program in general addresses 29 needs that an individual or family member may have, ranging from housing to food to transportation to interpersonal violence and safety. And so we're obviously in the housing realm, and so then we can come in and make repairs under that. And so that's Medicaid funded. We have another program that is our older adult home modification program. That's a HUD funded program that allows us to go in and again do all of the work that we're doing. Plus, with that grant program, we're able to employ or through contract work have an OT come alongside us. And so from their occupational therapist eyes, they can look at a situation and recommend some other things that we might also be able to do. And so while some of our funders are only paying for those health and safety related items directly tied to the house, the OAHMP program allows us to do other things, like we've been able to provide a Ring doorbell system so that somebody in the home can then have the safety of being able to see who's outside their door.
Right.
We can provide obviously the grab bars, the wheelchair ramps, all those sort of things play into that as well. But then there's other assistive devices that some of our other grants don't allow us to do that the OAHMP program does allow us to do. And then the other two programs that we have, kind of the bread and butter that we've operated with for many, many years, come through North Carolina Housing and Finance Agency. And those are the two programs that allow us to go in and do those deferred maintenance issues that we were talking about. And so one, we can do up to about 10, actually it's higher now, it's like $12,000 worth of repairs for the home. The other one used to be 40, is now actually going up to $70,000 worth of repairs for the home. And so each of those comes with different stipulations. One is a forgivable grant, one's a forgivable loan. The larger one, there is a lien that goes against the home, but it's a forgivable lien, and after 5 years it's gone.
Got it.
And so we are not in the business of acquiring homes. Our goal is to help people to age in place gracefully and age in place in their home. And so we want to come in and make that possible for them.
Now, if someone was interested in actually applying, that grant is not through you guys, it's through someone else. Am I saying that correctly?
It is, but we manage all that in-house, and so they would still make their application to us, and then we're able to go and do that. So the best way to apply is just to pick up the phone and call us, 910-399-7563. Call our office, let us know that you're needing some assistance, and then we'll walk you through. We do a screening script on the phone, which is a basic sort of 6 questions or so to kind of give us an idea of the need that's there, and then those basic qualifications that I talked about before. And then if you get through that process and there's no nothing that would disqualify you just from that conversation, then we will mail an application out to you, and that gives us a little bit more detailed information. And so it's about a 6-page application. It goes pretty in depth to get some of the proof of income information, proof of ownership information, any other needs you might have, what specifically do you need done in your home, that sort of thing. And so then once all that information comes back in with all of that proof, then we're able to kind of get through the process a little more. The next step would then be that we go out and we do an assessment of the home. And so once somebody's approved, then we'll get them on the calendar to go out and do an assessment. So somebody from the construction team is going out to take a look at the home to identify the needs that are there. And then somebody from our homeowner services team is alongside, or maybe they've done these questions ahead of time, but they're asking again more detailed conversations around other needs that the family may have. And so while we focus on housing, we have partnerships and relationships with many other organizations in town that are doing, it may be related to food, it may be related to utility assistance, it may be, veteran services or this or that or whatever. We have an extensive list of resources that we can refer folks to. And so we use those opportunities and those conversations to be able to push that along as well. Another thing that we found with those assessments, as we're going out from the construction standpoint and doing those assessments, sometimes what people have put on their application or what they've requested they don't realize that we can do even more than that.
Yeah.
And so we'll then say, this is what you've asked for, but we've also noticed these things that need to be done. We'd like to be able to address these for you as well. Maybe they didn't know that we did that. Maybe they didn't know they could ask. Maybe they thought, well, I can only ask for one thing. We want to address everything that we can, up to that cap to be able to go in and do that. So.
Do you find that people are very surprised that you all offer those type of services when they come in?
Sometimes they are, and again, whether it is humility and not wanting to ask, or if it's just, being unaware.
Yeah.
But we've had, different conversations with folks who, when we tell them these are some things that we'd like to address, almost in tears, they're surprised that somebody would want to offer that to them or be able to do that for them. And so those are the fun and special moments when you're in those kind of conversations.
I love that. And I love the mission of WARM-NC and all that you all do to help the community and help the families. Why is it so important to do what you all do? Why would you say it was so important for you?
Yeah, it's it really has been for me personally. It really falls right in line with my values and what I see as being important. I think coming from a ministry background, I'm an ordained minister, and so I served in churches in Georgia for about 15 years or so before coming to North Carolina. My wife is a minister as well, and so we've kind of got that in our blood, in our bones, that service aspect. And so one of the groups that I was responsible for at a previous church that I served did the same kind of work that WARM does over a much smaller area. And so when we came to North Carolina and we got involved with the church, she's at First Baptist here in Wilmington, and our students had done a project with WARM that first summer that we were here. And so WARM kind of got on my radar at that point of like, oh, this is a neat organization. I want to see more about what they're doing. Yeah. Fast forward 2 years later, my girls are getting into elementary school, and so I had been taking care of them. Well, now I'm looking for a position. Saw a posting on Facebook for a volunteer coordinator position. That's very similar to what ministry is coordinating people and coordinating volunteers, and it's that hands-on work of doing and making a difference in the community. And so I jumped at the chance to be able to do that, and here we are 7 years later, about 7 titles and maybe 8 offices later as I've moved around the organization, and here I am as the CEO. Yeah. And it's been a blessing. It's been a fun ride to kind of see all of what we're doing and how we got to this place. And when I started with WARM in 2018, there were 9 employees and we served 3 counties. As of today, we're in 7 counties and there's 32 employees, and we've got 4 or 5 open positions right now to build the team. So nice. We're continuing to grow and ready to make a difference. Here we are sitting today in our brand new facility that we've just moved into the first part of this year. And so we're so excited about being where we are. We chose this location in this part of town because this gives us easy access to all 7 counties. We're right on the main drag that we can get to wherever we need to be. And so it just puts us in a really good place. Now
I'm going to put you on the spot just a little bit. So, okay. If you had a moment that really just warmed your heart by helping someone or helping a family or something that happened in WARM-NC that just really touched you and said it made it worth it for you, what would that be?
Yeah, I think for me, I always go back to one of the families that we worked on the first summer that I was here. They had Hurricane Matthew damage. When I started in the spring of that year, in February of that year, we were currently working on their home, addressing the needs that had come out from Hurricane Matthew. Worked on them all summer. There's a great video on our YouTube page of the Wilmington Fire Department that had come out and been a part of their rebuild. The Cape Fear Community College plumbing class have been involved in that rebuild. A couple of out-of-town churches had done some work there as well. And in August of 2018, we were able to give them their keys back. They had left town. They went to Fayetteville to stay with family because their home was just unlivable. And so while we were doing those repairs, we had the keys. We gave them their keys back in August of 2018. Hurricane Florence hits in September.
Yeah.
And I was, they were on my mind as we were out of town. And I said, has anybody called them? Do we know how they're doing? And as it turned out, we didn't have to call them. They had emailed like 2 days after the storm to say, thank you so much. We are here. Our house is fine. The work that you have done solidified the house so that it could withstand the next storm. So that's what a lot of people don't necessarily realize, is that when you live in a house that's of substandard quality, it's even more susceptible to the next storm that comes.
Yeah.
And so the work that we're doing, even addressing the deferred maintenance issues, is really making your house stronger for the next storm that's coming. And so not only was their house still there, but when we first met them, they were taking medications for COPD, had their asthma inhaler that they needed, quite a bit, several different medical diagnoses that they had and that they were dealing with. We went Christmas of that year, we met with them as we were in our Christmas party, and we visited several of the homeowners that we had served throughout the course of that year. And while we were there, she was sharing with us, I don't need my COPD medication anymore. I don't need my inhaler. The work that we're doing is we go into a home and remove a carpet, which may be a tripping hazard.
Yeah.
It's also a breathing hazard. And so, the social determinants of health are a big buzzword now, and that's what the HOP program, the Healthy Opportunities Pilot Program, are addressing, these social determinants of health. So as we go in and address these things on the front end, it reduces medical expenses on the back end. It improves the health in the real time. And so, it's so huge to know that we're able to do that and make that kind of lasting difference.
Yeah.
Not only to the home, but also on the individual.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, no one does things by themselves, and I hear you say we a lot. Tell us a little bit about your staff and your volunteers and things like that. Let us know about the work that they do and the sacrifices they make and things of that sort.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a great staff, a very dedicated staff, a loving, caring, and concerned staff. I was actually talking to one of our field supervisors yesterday. We were just talking about the work that we're doing here at WARM, and he came in October of 2018, so just after me, and is actually our third highest tenured employee at the moment. And we were just talking about WARM, and he said, Andy, I love it here. I love what we're doing. I love my homeowners. I love my volunteers. I don't want to do anything different. And that's the kind of people that we have, that caring and concern for not only the ones who we are serving, but the ones we're serving alongside.
I love that.
And it really is. It's a family feel here. We go back and forth. Are we a family? Are we a team? And it really is a mixture of both. There's a lot of care and concern for each other in this place, but also for the folks that come alongside us, whether they're volunteers or donors or corporations and community support and otherwise that we get. Like I'm blown away. When we had our ribbon cutting here a couple of weeks ago, we were absolutely blown away by the community support, the number of people that came out to celebrate with us this milestone in WARM's journey and where we are. And we can't do it without the community. We can't do it without the volunteers. We're always looking for volunteers across all 7 counties. So there's if you would be interested in volunteering, reach out on the website, again, give us a phone call, and we'll get you plugged in the right place. Whether you are an individual or a member of a group, we do every week. We have new opportunities for individuals. We'll send an email out 1 week that you're signing up for projects the next week. If you're a part of a group, you can call and you pick a date, and we'll get it all set up for you with all the details. We cover all the materials, all the tools, everything. We'll be able to provide that for you. We just need your body, and that may be that you're coming out to swing a hammer or rip up a floor or put down, the wheelchair ramp, or you may be one of the ones that's tasked with just sitting down and talking to the homeowner. That's such a vital part of what we do too. That often goes unrecognized. A lot of these folks that we serve are seniors, and maybe they're single and they're staying at home and they don't have a whole lot of human interaction. And so one of the greatest things that a volunteer can do is just sit and talk and be, and just be that loving person that can just sit there and have a good conversation.
That would be me, because I don't know if I could pick up a hammer and do anything. I can talk all day, but I can talk you to the house is built, to the house the repairs are done. But that is awesome. I love it. I love it. Now, how about donations? If anybody's interested in donating, how would they go about doing that? Do you guys accept donations?
Absolutely. So again, I would direct you to the website, and there's the donate button is prominent there. A couple things that we've got coming up. One is our annual gala. That will be on Friday, June 13th over at the terraces at Sir Tyler. So there's information on our website there about purchasing tickets to that. Again, business, if you're interested in a sponsorship of that level, those levels are there on the website as well. And we would just love to have as many folks as can that come out and just learn more about WARM. That's a great entry into who we are, what we're doing. We'll have a silent auction and a live auction as well, and so you might come out and get some fun swag or get that that trip that you're looking for, all while supporting a good cause. So we certainly would welcome any of that for sure.
Awesome. Now, do you guys ever partner with any other organizations or anything like that?
Yeah, we do. Again, I mentioned our resource lists and the referrals that we make, and so we give referrals out and we receive referrals as well. We're plugged into and involved with the long-term recovery groups in all the counties that we serve, and so these are the groups that come together, particularly after a storm. But there's also the preparation standpoint as well, and so right now all of them are gearing up for preparation as we begin to enter into hurricane season. They're going to be having their preparedness expos and all these things. And so we're connected with these organizations and constantly talking with them, whether it's Habitat for Humanity or Catholic Charities or, all these other ones that are around and cover, again, those 7 counties that we're plugged into. Brunswick Senior Resources, just so many that we are connected to in the area. And so, because, the last thing that we want to do is duplicate anything. And so especially in the area of rebuilding, and so we coordinate with them, knowing this person's on our list, that person's on your list, and we tell everybody in town, particularly after a storm, apply everywhere, and whoever gets to you first, you win. It's not about WARM getting every single job. The need is too great for that. So we have to share that responsibility, and we do so gladly.
Love that. Now, before we go, if anyone is interested or need the help, where did they go? What website, or how did they get started with you guys?
The best way to get in touch with us is to make a phone call first. Again, 910-399-7563. You can find information about us on the website, but then that phone call is going to be the best entry point, the quickest way to get the process rolling.
Awesome. Now, is there anything else? Because I want to make sure that you get all the information that you need about WARM NC. Anything else you want to tell us before we go?
I think we've covered a lot. We appreciate the support that we get from the community, from individuals, like I said, whether it be volunteering or donations that are made, or the business support is huge in this area too. And so as a new CEO, I don't know how much longer I can claim that title of new CEO, but it's been really fun for me to get out in this seat and in this role and really meeting the community and seeing the different things that we're doing. You had a fun opportunity yesterday to participate in the trike race that the United Way puts on every year. And so we had a couple different organizations that were sponsoring WARM as a part of that, or racing for WARM to do that yesterday. And so just seeing that level of support, and I think the awareness about WARM is a big thing. We've been around for almost 30 years, but I still think we're the best kept secret around. Because there are some folks that don't know who we are, don't know what we're doing, or may have just found out about us. Anything that we can do to get the word out. So spread the word. Spread the word.
All right. Well, we want to thank Andy Jones for speaking with us today. Make sure you go to warmnc.org, and we are out of here, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.